people walking down there. This is the only spot in the park where you can swim. So what happens is all of this hot spring water that comes off of those terraces up there end up coming down into the river at one spot, and it's really, really nice because you can lay in the water and it's like a big hot tub. And so right now it's closed because they are working on it. So I don't see anybody swimming. I think it's probably still, you can still walk down there, but it's closed for swimming right now. And there's rattlesnakes. This is the area where we're going down in lower altitude here. So we're at the place where you could potentially see a rattlesnake in here. As we make our way through this canyon, going on up to Gardner, so you can see the steam coming out of it. Now there are people in it, so maybe it is open. See that hot springs rolling in there. So as we make our way to Gardner, we're going to come right down here by the Gardner River. And there's going to be a place for bighorn sheep up here on the right-hand side. They did a restoration project, and those bighorn sheep, kind of like mountain goats, they don't hang on the edges like the mountain goats, but they do kind of like places that are kind of vertical. Right over there. Now it's at 9 o'clock. Just a big pile of dirt. So a lot of beaver activity right in here in this area. But they're leaving it there. But GPS has showed that they misjudged it by about 16 feet. So I actually was on my way to Gardner one day, and this road was closed because it was a big, huge landslide. So when it rains here a lot, you've got to be very careful coming through here and watch out what you're doing. A friend of mine actually got a rock fell right on their car as they drove by through here. So the National Park Service is always in here. You can see it. These rocks are constantly falling down on this road. There's been talk of trying to move the road, but the National Park Service really doesn't want to do that because it would hamper the environment around here, and we've got the river system right over there, so where really would you put it? So I doubt that will ever happen. I mean, it may, but you can also see the old bridges that were made of the stones along and through here. We just passed one back there. I didn't see it in time to point it out, but so yeah, this is ever changing because this is all very dusty and very vulnerable. Have hailstorms here. And just to let you know, the Yellowstone Association owns the cabins up there at the top. There's 4 cabins in a row. So if you do a field seminar, you're either going to be living there and taking it from there, or you're either going to be out at the Buffalo Ranch. So that's their 2 field campuses. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the best views of any housing in a national park that I know of. You can volunteer and actually live there. And but you help check people in and out, you make up the beds, and you do all that kind of stuff to be able to do that. And so we are leaving the park up here pretty quickly, and we are coming into Gardner, Montana, elevation at about 5,300 feet. And we're doing pretty good. We're just going to be a little late, so we're very understanding. See how golden it's become? It reminds me of California in a drought. It's pretty dry here. When we get up here to the Yellowstone Association, they're going to have a scope. And that scope is going to be set up specifically for us. Here's our pronghorn, right here to the right. Okay, so when you see the Elvis, everybody listen, when you see the Elvis underneath, that's a male. We've got a male over here to the right. We've got baby pronghorns right out here. We've got baby pronghorns, cool. We got 3 babies out there. So those are the mothers, and the mothers are always pretty much facing their babies. And so, cool, we finally saw some pronghorns. Awesome.
На этой горе несколько человек было убито молнией, потому называется этот пик Electric Peak.
in 1883, but then in about 1902, he decided he was going to build and started going through the park. So we tried to keep it very close to the original design. Now, this one, if you just take a minute and just kind of look around, we know that at least at this point, I like the arid countryside. I like the sagebrush and the bunch grasses that are out here. But early on, in 1902, everybody looked at it and said, well, this wasn't really the at that little arm. Okay? This one over here is Evans, 4-year-old that was lost in the park for 39 days. Had an issue there. So that's really the hillside. Now you have to remember, it was about 10 feet tall when Roosevelt was here. Because he was going to in fact dedicate it, and he was going to in fact put things in a time capsule. And what he put in the time capsule, I have to find my notes because I don't know everything by heart. A 1903 World Atlas. These are just a few of the things he put in the time capsule. He put a copy of the National Park report for 1903. It was a descriptive pamphlet. He put in pictures of the park surveyors and employees of the time. You have to have pictures, obviously.
Наш автобус поехал. Это мы.
The houses here, a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom home goes for about $400,000. So housing here is almost impossible. So most of the people that own the businesses here in town have employees. They've built apartment buildings for the employees to live there. There are a few people that you cannot take a raft into the park that they can put up right over there, right outside of the park and come. So all of this area up along and through here is still Yellowstone National Park. And so if you went to the IMAX movie, at the very beginning they showed you what's called Devil's Slide. And I don't know if you remember, it was a big red slide coming all the way from the top of the mountain all the way to the bottom. And we're getting ready to go past it up here, and I'll point it out to everybody. There have been a couple people that say, gee, I want to slide down that. Okay, one guy was killed by sliding down it, and the other guy was all ripped up when he got to the bottom. So not a good idea. A little bit more upscale. But the hometown people really do want it to stay that way. I couldn't wait for that to come on. Well, this is like that little town. That's what it reminds me of, to live here in this little town, because you have the moose, the elk, occasionally bears, you have cougars coming through town all the time. And so sometimes you can't even cross that bridge of the Yellowstone River because the bison are on it. And if you walk to work like all of us did, because he's just right around the corner, then it was even more difficult. And he at least let people know where he was going. And he called from his cell phone down at the top saying that he felt like he was going to be in trouble. And there's no trees up there, so he didn't really have any place to hide or anything. And he did get struck by lightning and killed. And there again, it's something you should never do. Hike alone, number one. And you got to know the weather patterns of the mountains, because the storm can come up very quickly. So if you're going up a mountain, you really need to know what you're doing. And a lot of people just, I don't think they realize how dangerous it can be. So that was another death in Yellowstone. This is really a nice, this is the beginning of, well, Paradise Valley's on up here just a little bit further. In the wintertime, I mentioned the bison hibernate out of the park. And this is where they come. So they'll come through Gardner. You can see there could be 200 or 300 bison in the streets of Gardner. And they come down through here, and they make your way through here. Unfortunately, back over there at 8 o'clock, 7:30 is where they... So these folks climbed up, these two guys climbed up on the other side and got up there at the top and thought, okay, we're going to slide down it.
Yeah, no problem.
Unfortunately, that did not work, but it's kind of beautiful, isn't it? So this is a different geology that we've seen so far in the park, because that right there used to lay flat. You see the ridge lines along the mountains. So this laid flat at one point, and then the tectonic plate pushed it up to make it vertical instead of horizontal down there over the years. So the Devil's Slide.
Так, это вот Монтана, Rocky Mountains. Это Монтана. Welcome to Montana. Как раз вот на где Roosevelt Arch. О, какая красота. Ой, Надюша, смотри, какие горы. Ну, выше головы моей. Я только вернусь.
I will, but I'll get it later.
Oh, okay. All the courses are taught either at the Mama Falls Ranch or up there.
Красиво. Надечка, на твоем будет красиво. Потому...
And if you're there's actually ruts that those tires make to make it easier to go back and forth. And there's a lot of irrigation here, a lot of hay, a little bit of alfalfa grown here. I have no idea why somebody brought camels here, but they brought them here, and they give you a ride on a camel right in the middle of Paradise Valley. You'll see that off to the left. To the right, I was actually having dinner in Gardner one night. We were right down on the Yellowstone River, and all of a sudden smoke started coming up. We were like, what the heck? It kind of looked like clouds at first, and a lightning had struck that peak there, and a fire started really quickly. Then the fire department, we actually called the fire department.